I am also live.
Ooh.
Hello, the people that just always are the ones that are hanging out in my chat. Always.
Hello, Cleo's people.
Is this
Get up, get up.
Snow, Meath, and Bakura are always here. Always. It's
Mm,
not a bad thing. It's just that's what it is. So,
fair enough.
um, but it's always these two. That's what
Mm,
it is. So,
fair enough.
Okay. So, what are you up to today, Joe? You still working
Uh,
on?
I'm probably gonna do more random pinball stuff. Like, honestly, I don't feel like I kind of got far enough on the cabin in the woods thing last week that I want to hold
Mm-hmm.
off on moving forward until closer to Halloween.
That's fair.
So
Um,
I was kind of just feeling it out last week to try and figure out how many weeks I would need,
mm-hmm.
but I don't think I have to do it today.
Um, okay, well that's fair. I finished up my budget book.
Budget book.
Uh, so what I've decided is I'm actually going to transfer doing my budgets. I mean, I'm obviously not going to show like actual money amounts to people, but I'm going to do like all the setup and stuff.
So is your budget book
In my
comparable to the bullet journal?
It is, yeah. It's just why would I have two things and when I could just put it all in one?
Oh wait, so had you been keeping a separate budget book?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So I've
So
just been using like a Google spreadsheet for this, but
see. I like having things kind of tangible. I like to be able to touch things.
mhm.
It's really a wonder why I don't do cash budgeting. But maybe I should. Maybe that's the thing I should do. Maybe not on a stream, but just in general. But no, I have like my budget spreadsheets in this book and like all the bills and stuff.
Gotcha.
But I figure I might as well just like because it's like a monthly budget. I might as well just do the monthly budget in here for October.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to preface this with budgeting isn't sexy, but it can be fun. So yeah, so I'm like now putting like finances here. I'm not putting physical numbers in on stream,
Mm-hmm. But you're gonna put
but
like the categories maybe.
yeah, like I have to pay these bills, and you know
Mm-hmm.
this is like this is the 20%, like 20% for taxes. I also won't know
Mm-hmm.
how much money I'm going to earn in October, so you know me being putting money figures into it is ridiculous anyway. Besides, I don't want people knowing what I earn
That's fair.
because that's weird. Maybe this
Yeah.
should be
Well,
over a little
you
bit.
wouldn't want them to be able to negotiate fair pay for themselves based on what you make in a similar position, obviously.
Yes. Thank you, everybody. Everybody have a drink. You're thirsty.
I
So
am, and I brought my coffee, but what I don't have is I thought that my notebook was here, and I don't have it. So now I'm wandering around the room. Sorry.
that's okay.
Oh,
You
there
don't
it
have to
is.
apologize to me. I'm good.
Yay.
So yeah, you guys are gonna see that how I lay out my budgets. And if you don't have a budget, um, I get it. I do. Maybe think about having one.
Yeah, I've got yeah, basically like I have a spreadsheet where I put in how much things are going to cost and then or at least an estimate if I don't know. And then I put
Yeah.
in how
Yeah.
much of which account, like either checking or savings, I have allocated toward it. And then I
Mhm.
can basically compare the sum of those things with the actual values in the account and be like, okay, so in order to pay all my bills by the end of the month, I need X amount of revenue, or I need to somehow get out of some of these expenses, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I actually 100% do. I also had to go into my emergency fund, so I kind of want to do like a little savings challenge for myself, and I
Mm-hmm.
thought a bullet journal would be a good place to do it. So like there's 16 weeks to the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So I figure like trying to save up $1,000 for my emergency fund wouldn't be, I mean, it would be expensive and I'd have to cut down on other stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
I
Well,
mean, it's definitely a thing I could do.
Usually
So
I try to keep $1,000 in my emergency fund. I but it's one of those things. So because my quarterly taxes are only due every quarter, as
mhm.
I sometimes I'll end up kind of drawing that down,
I
and
get
I'll
it.
be like, well, I could always borrow against the quarterly taxes as long as nothing bad happens like right before the quarterly taxes are due. Which is one of the reasons it was such a
Mm.
relief that so many of the folks watching today and in the community in general were so generous when my tire blew out on Monday, because it's like, okay, I've got my almost all of my money in my bank account is set aside for paying quarterly taxes, and then
Yeah.
yeah, because that's on the 15th. Um, People are asking how the car is, so it's basically I've got the spare on there and I don't want to drive it until I go into the tire shop. The first appointment that they had available is early next week, but I don't want to go to a different tire shop because there's a chance that these are under warranty. I'm always wary about stuff like that because
Yeah.
just because they say, just because they say, oh yeah, this is covered under road hazard insurance, like they might look at the way that the tire blew out and say, actually, it's pretty clear that this is the cause, which is exempt from the warranty or something. So, I until I actually,
Tires shouldn't shred like that, just in
I
general.
don't think they should. I don't think they should. Like, yeah. So,
Like legally, there's surely something that
yeah.
that says no, tires that like there's mm,
Let's
yeah.
see. Real quick, Aku Inu says streamer advising for budgeting on Twitch on a platform that tries to use fear of missing out to spend money on everything all right now. Don't think spend money now. In fairness, I'm not a Twitch partner. I am not buying into their ecosystem of consumption and lack of constraint. But
Well,
feel
you've
free to
noticed that
criticize Cleo.
even you can criticize me all you like, but it's a case of I am very clear that you should not spend if you are not financially capable of doing so.
If you are financially capable of supporting the arts, though, and my work in particular, tips are welcome via paypal.me/showhills and YouTube Super Chat. You make this show free for all the people who can't afford it. They're in a different place in their life right now.
Well, I'm just trying to up my emergency fund, that's all.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
Oh. Oh.
So yeah, I don't blame you. Yeah. Well, so I basically, the reason that my emergency fund is depleted, and this is an example of poor financial planning, but I think so part of what I run into is I'm not like a frugality purist, right? There are some
No,
people
me neither.
who are like, okay, if you want to do this, you have to be 100% disciplined. That's how you save money. And I'm like, okay, I get that's how you save money, but like part of the reason I work this hard is so that my kids can have opportunities I didn't have as a kid.
Yeah.
And there was a science and engineering camp, for like the first week of summer, that opened. That's the sort of thing that I always wanted to do when I was a kid, and my daughter really wanted to do it, and it was like $1,500, and I had to put $850 down up front, and so that was basically most of my quote unquote emergency fund. Technically, an emergency is like both time sensitive, which this was, and it's crucial. Arguably, I didn't go to this camp and I turned out fine, but it's important.
Did you, Jerry?
Yeah, good point. But like, it's important even if it's not crucial, right? You know?
No,
and like,
I get it.
So it's like maybe, and like I was 100% fine with the decision until that tire blew, and then I'm like, this is why I have an emergency fund, and and I've got my taxes due, and I just signed her up for this camp, and like, so, but yeah, it's fine.
It's fine. Speaking of which, thank you for the hype train. Arca has resubscribed for 18 months. Saying, I always love the stream. Thank you very much. Heppel has cheered 560 biddies. Thank you. That's a lot. I appreciate that. Pushed has cheered cow biddies because you gave all the odd bits to Cam, which is fair. And Masani cheered biddies. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it.
Well, and like to go back to the fear of missing out concept that Akuinu raised earlier, maybe me signing my kid up for this camp is not based on fear of missing out, because it's like it's just more I've experienced missing out and I don't want that for others.
For my kid, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Particularly not your kid. Yeah.
But it definitely is a parallel concept though. So like I am spending money maybe that, but like part of me is always concerned, like if I was like, well, let me wait until next year when I've got more savings. I'm like, well, YouTube, all this stuff is up and down with revenue. Next year might be even worse. It's like this year I can do it and it'll be a strain, but I know I can do it. But next year, like,
both of you are really clear that us fans shouldn't spend money we can't afford. I hope so, because I think that's really important, that you take care of yourself first, particularly with the way inflation and stuff is going, which affects us too, don't get me wrong, but yeah, we get it. We are not rich, let's put it like that,
but we are rich in spirit, Cleo. We're going to bring joy to anyone we can as easily as we can. For example, Raichi and Childish Gambino just had their 4-year anniversary, so happy anniversary to...
happy anniversary.
Yeah, Feliz anniversary. So happy anniversary, Raichi Silver Skies and Childish Gambino.
I appreciate you, Joe.
I do what I can. I love both of those names also. Okay, you know what I realized I probably should be doing? Because this is also kind of my time to work on random side project ideas.
Yeah.
You've played, for those of y'all who don't know from my audience, Cleo has played quite a bit of tabletop games in the past. I don't know if you played, in particular, Call of Cthulhu, though?
I have played some Call of Cthulhu.
Awesome. So I've been running a lot of my Patreon folks through a series of Pathfinder games called Pathfinder Bounties, which are like level 1 adventures that are designed to take about an hour or two. So they're like entry level, get started with Pathfinder 2nd edition type games. And I was like, it's a shame there's nothing like that for Call of Cthulhu, because I think in a lot of ways Call of Cthulhu is more accessible than Pathfinder, because the setting is... Well, no, I mean, in terms of the setting, right? It's basically our world in the 1920s, which people have more familiarity with than, like, I don't know this whole, like, geography and pantheon or whatever in the Pathfinder setting or D&D, right?
Yeah.
So I was trying to brainstorm ideas for, like, oh, how could I create an entry-level Call of Cthulhu adventure to run for my patrons? And somebody suggested, what if you did something that's like an adventure kind of like the movie Clue? You could call it Call of Cthulhu. And
that's flipping genius.
Because one of the big problems with running a Call of Cthulhu game is all the characters have different professions and backgrounds, but you have to justify why they're working together. It's like, why is this doctor and this college student and this flapper all driving around in a convertible, you know, fighting cultists, right? But if you're all invited to a mysterious dinner party, well...
That would be genius. I'd love that.
And so what I should be doing right now is I'm going to pull up a clue board and start sketching the layout just to refamiliarize myself with it. I find it's really helpful for me to, like, sketch and draw models of things like that.
Yeah.
To get my brain in the right place. So...
thank you, Quaker, who has subscribed. Welcome to the Horde. If you look to your left and to your right, you'll see there are no exits. But that's okay. We like it here.
Yeah.
Joe sounding convinced as always.
Oh, no, sorry. I just saw somebody who left some bad news, or that their basement had flooded. So sorry, Mama Llama Mims.
Oh.
Yeah, it says
after we're all sorry.
Yeah, after $500 all fixed, the plumber here till 10:30. Yeah, that's a mess.
But... Hope you had an emergency fund.
Yeah. Well,
that's on theme. Disasters.
Yep. Yeah. Well, like I said, I try to call my parents sometimes when it's not an emergency, but like it's like I'm like,
it's so hard.
I'm like, oh, I'll call them on Wednesday. just to let them know I appreciate them. And it's like Wednesday, emergency. I'm like, hey, what up? It's your boy Joe with his latest catastrophe. Oh boy. Hey Tim, thank you for tipping 10. Who says, in case you need a new lug nut. Yeah, I haven't. I've got my appointment with the tire people early next week. I had to go to the same place that I got the tires in the first place, and so.
Thank you for the bits, Paleo. It's appreciated.
Debbie, thank you for tipping 1. Sorry.
I'm just impressed that you're going back there.
Well, because I want to find out if it is.
It's on. Yeah, I get it.
If it's under warranty.
Like my brain was like, ooh.
But also, like the other thing is, like when I got these tires, like these are, that's one of those things. Like I don't like skimping on because like. I drive my kid around, and I don't want, like I've been in near misses and in accidents where having good tires and good brakes and stuff, like somebody could have gotten way more hurt or died if like I hadn't been able to stop when I did, So like these were good tires in the first place, which might be part of the reason that they got like they lasted that long until they like when they finally
shredded.
gave out. Like because
yeah. Thank you, Bakura, for the cow biddies. It's appreciated.
Because like people were like, "How did you not notice that?" And I'm like, I mean, like I heard a sound, but like the thing was holding together until all of a sudden it wasn't. Like
yikes. That's terrifying.
Also, thank you, Quarky, for tipping 20. I'm gonna rotate the camera another 20 now. We are on rotational tips this stream. That's gonna bring us up to 31 degrees angular.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, if you're like, would you buy those same tires again? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that this. I don't think that this was like a manufacturing defect, because a little bit before I started hearing any other noises, I heard a noise that sounded like a clang, and I mean, there's like construction and stuff out on the roads, and sometimes stuff falls off of trucks or whatever.
Yeah.
And so like I heard this weird clang noise, and I was like, that's not a noise. Like, I was like, either like a can got kicked up into the undercarriage, or like somebody dropped something heavy and metal on a construction site, like off the side of the road or something. But it sounded like somebody dropping a pipe on a concrete floor, not like something popping a tire, right? And so I'm guessing
well, to be fair, your tire didn't pop, it exploded.
Yeah, I'm guessing I must have like I must have run over something that just pierced straight through to the wheel, to the metal rim. And that's why it made such a distinct, clear clang. But then the fact that the tire held together for a good while after that, before even starting to make any noise at all, because I initially just was like, oh, that was weird. What was that noise? But like, so, yeah. I've
got experience of this Safety. Like if you look at like that. I have experience cutting these things out. It's not a new thing.
Yeah.
They get cut out all the time.
For people who want to see pictures of the tire, I'm going to post the, So,
dear God, yeah. Okay, so if this is my budget, then income needs a box. Bills needs a box. Bills is going to take up most of this.
I was going to say, like, do you just have one box called bills? Because I like separated out, like, every separate utility, each internet service.
Well, I do bills, and then I list them by date when they come out. So, like the council tax comes out on the 1st. So that goes at the top of the list, and then I just list all of the bills out in order. So.
Gotcha. Yeah. I do mine pseudo sequentially, because like I basically use the same spreadsheet as on like a rolling basis, and so like what would be September toward the top becomes October, while bottom of the list is still the end of September.
Right.
It's like it would go from electricity's due September 20th, and then after the September 20th, it's like, okay, electricity's due October 20th. Yeah.
That makes sense.
But yeah, People are some Corky says that was a weird blowout. You had plenty of tread. I don't think it was a random blowout. I think something must have punctured the sidewall of the tire. Like I must have run over something. I didn't see anything in the road, but I heard that noise, and like it was just gone. So
yeah, no, that was one gone tire.
Yeah.
Like each time I see Carol come up on my stream, it's just like, is Cleo funny? And I think that's a pretty rude question. I'm like, no, I typed that. That's fine.
So wait, you have a poll that rolls in that asks if you're funny?
Oh no, it's just encouraging people to make clips.
Oh.
And it's just the bot that just encourages people to make clips every so often. And then I just like, that's really rude. No, I wrote that. That's fine.
Gotcha. Thank you very much to Devi for tipping an additional 32. Apparently that first error was, or that first dollar tip was an error. So thank you for correcting that, but any amount is appreciated, Devi, any day. So that's going to get us another 32. Yeah, so that's going to bring us up to, let's rotate the camera to 63 degrees. Angular.
It took me embarrassingly long to realise Carol was a bot. I thought she was real. It's okay. I still look up and go, hey! No, that's fine. So
yeah.
Income streams. I might as well write them down because people know what they are.
Yeah. Well, and then yeah, I also have a separate column for like money that is incoming but not here yet. I won't like, so for example with YouTube I might know, okay, I'm gonna get on the 21st I'm gonna get X amount of money from last month, or you know, with PayPal or whatever, it's like, okay, I started a transfer for a few $100s but it's not here yet, so you know I keep a log of like what my, or like I sent an invoice to this freelance client, like all my outstanding income I have a column for as well, so then when I'm trying to figure out like what I can afford, I'm not just looking at my current balance, but like, oh, I've got this coming in 2 days, or this coming in 15 days, or you know, whatever.
Yeah. Well, like I have this is October's budget, by the way, guys, so I should have merch out in October, so that's coming. So I've just put that in as an additional revenue stream, but like it's like Twitch, YouTube, Patreon, Stream Loot, Stream Elements, merch, etc. Where do I put illicit earnings? I don't earn illicitly. I claim everything. I tell the government everything. Oh, in fact, I overpay the government. I have for the last 3 years. That's why I've got an accountant. So my accountant goes, you don't actually need to do that.
Yeah, this is one of the things that's killing me, is it's like I need to properly incorporate the business in whatever state I'm going to be living.
Yeah.
And I don't know yet, like, I'm still trying to figure out where I'm going to be living next year, because it's so expensive to stay in Tennessee.
Yeah.
But, like, that's a bad sign when Tennessee is getting too expensive. Like, what's left, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't know.
Hey, happy birthday, Asher.
Happy birthday, Asher.
Yeah.
Not implying anything, just cry money. Like genuinely, I didn't think you were implying anything, but I want to make it clear on a platform I do not do anything illicitly. I just wanted to make that clear. Like, I know it probably was clear, but you know, it never hurts to say. Of course, it's always that that's what person who does something illegal would say, and then you're just like back at square one. But no. New merch made for by zombies for zombies. Yes, that's a hint to who actually did my merch for me. Except that's not the merch that will be coming out first, I don't think. I mean, there's merch that I need to do for Patreon. And then there's separate merch, and then there's more merch coming out. I've got lots of art in the bag, is what I'm saying, that I need to figure out how I'm going to use. And it's all really good. It's all really good. And it's all paid for, so I can do what I want with it now.
Yay.
Yay. That was in last month's budget. The revenue got your taxes wrong every year for about 12 years. The first time they got it right was the year I retired. I get it. Like I say, I've done my own taxes, and haven't taken off any expenses ever for YouTube. So everything I've done so far has been non-government helped. So
Kirsten 1959 says, can't you stay in your apartment next year? Well, sooner or later I'd like to buy a place. And also I don't know if they're going to jack up the rent here. So, you know, because the rent has been going up, like, all of the other, like, places around here have just skyrocketed in rent. And so if my landlord's like, well, you know, good luck finding something cheaper, you know, I'm worried is the
no, we get it. Oh, Luna Blood Moon, I appreciate that, and I hope things get better for you. I'm always going to be here, mostly because people can't get rid of me. So it sucks to be you guys. Lost Cult Gamers resubscribed for 4 months. Thank you very much indeed. Ah! I don't know why that gets stuck in my head every couple of weeks, but it does.
Joe draws Clue. You can too.
Yeah. Okay. The merch is going to be permanent, yes. I don't like, because I use a fulfillment site, I don't need to do limited runs. So it's just, they do print on demand stuff. So for me, that's fine. So I'm good. You can just buy it whenever you feel like it. Some of it's Patreon only stuff that I bought specifically for Patreon. So
yeah, well, that's one of the other reasons to get my own place is because people keep asking me to do merch, and I don't really have room to store it here, and I don't want to use a fulfillment site. I'd rather ship it myself.
Yeah, and that's fair.
Like yeah. Like there's just like all these different things that I need to do to move the business forward in terms of like incorporating and getting my taxes done through the business and building out merch. But it all depends on me knowing like what state I'm gonna live in.
Yeah, no, I get that. I get that. It's all a bit of a faff.
Yeah, one of the biggest things holding me up on deciding that was I had to see how poorly it went the first time my daughter did an unaccompanied minor flight. And she managed it okay. So it wasn't a terrifying, traumatic experience. So that's good.
That's a bonus. Yeah.
Because that was one of the big concerns was like if she was going to have to make like 12 unaccompanied minor flights a year and hate them or be traumatized by a bad experience her first time or something, then like not moving closer to her mother would be more of a problem, although where her mother lives is way more expensive than Tennessee and has no job opportunities or fallbacks for me if this goes sideways. So it's like I really don't want to do that unless I'm like unless I'm really in a better financial situation than I'm in now. So
money is always tight. I suppose rent to own merch is out of the game plan. Pretty much. If you want like minimum, like I'm doing stickers and stuff. So, yeah. That, I mean, that's as good as I can make it. I'm sorry. Ah, dear. Yeah, but the site does have payment plans. I would always, since the merch isn't going anywhere, if you want to do a rent to own, my recommendation is just put in a little bit of money aside each, which I'm going to demonstrate is what I do in my budget, because I do. So
these sites have rent to own payment plans for what, hoodies?
Apparently.
See, this is part of what feels scary about going with a group or a site like that, because it's like, yeah, like their core business might not align with what your actual needs are.
Well, I've looked into them, and they are, as far as I can tell, their business practices are ethically aligned.
Mm-hmm.
It's with a firm which doesn't charge interest unless you don't pay on time. Like I say, it's merch. You don't need it. Just put a little. They're not going anywhere. Put a little bit aside each month, and if you need that money, then it's there, and you haven't paid it into a site. I'm saying deliberately, don't get. It's not limited edition. You don't have to buy instantly. So there we go. Thank you, Zazzles, who's resubscribed for 5 months. Thank you. The problem when I do try to budget, I get that part of my brain that chafes at constriction. I get that. I understand that. Trust me, I understand that. It's too early in the morning to talk about finances. It's mid-afternoon. What are you talking about?
Mid-afternoon.
I do not sound like that. That's rude.
Okay. I have this I have the French curve, and then I'm like, let me just freehand this curve on this window. It's like, nope. That was
Joe, what are you doing?
That was terrible. Yeah. French
Tisk,
curve.
tisk.
French curve is way better. That's why it exists.
I don't have any more gold letterings.
Mm-hmm.
I was sure I bought more than that. Let me go check my other box. 1 second.
Sure.
No, just the rose gold. This is the extra lettering I got. Rose gold, and I guess I'll go with if the gold fails, rose gold. Yes, Cam. His impression of you is at least better than his impression of Zuma doing an impression of a drill. I'm not a person of letters, no, JT. Oh, okay. That's... How many bills do I normally have a month is the question. 7 a.m. and you haven't even had coffee yet. I don't know what 7 a.m. is.
Well, it's 7 hours anti-meridian.
13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18. Oh, just enough. It's early. That's what it is. Oh, yeah. No. I agree. It's absolutely stupidly early. It's not a thing that should exist. Mm-hmm. And in my world, doesn't anymore. I don't miss that at all.
I still have to wake up early to get my daughter to school and stuff.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'll stop gloating at some point in our relationship, but don't count on it.
It's it's fine. I appreciate the intent behind that statement, but I do not expect it to be true. It's like, yeah, there's...
7 a.m. is silly o'clock. I understand silly o'clock.
Why am I not? I should be using the straight edge too. It's like, let me just freehand every part of this.
Gacha Club OC. Can I make it into an edit? It's a Gacha Club AC. I don't know. Like, I'm old. You're gonna have to go at this with an old person's You're gonna have to explain things to me. Work has resubscribed for 18 months with a lonk, and I don't understand the lonk, but I appreciate it. Kind of wish I didn't wake up at 6 a.m. Like, your body is used to the horse thing, so Pushed, you get a pass. Gacha Club are those characters that people make animatics with, I think. Huh. Still adjusting to a kid needing to leave at school for 7 a.m. Oh, yeah, I can imagine after the holidays it's rough. Actually, I used to do that job. Like, yeah, I understand. After the holidays, it's rough getting your kids to school. It's rough being at school as well. So my teachers out there who are at school, I salute you. I feel bad. I feel like a bad friend.
Just now.
Wow, Joe. Wow. Skulls, should you be in bed? Okay, thank you, honey. Oh. I'm probably not going to set that up, but I don't care if other people do.
You're not going to set it up?
A gacha club thing. I just looked at it and I went,
So that randomized thing, that feels like too much like how we get Wall-E. Like, oh, hey, buy 5 things and you might get the one you want. If you don't, throw it away. It's garbage. We're mailing you garbage. Just put it in the street. Like,
you don't like it? Yeah, no.
Like, I don't like the yeah, like, if somebody wants...
How did me and Joe get so close?
We're like 4,000 miles away.
Yeah. The songs and clips and make them animatics. I don't think it counts for digital stuff.
What do you mean?
What Joe's saying?
No, I'm talking about, like, if they're like, oh, you want if you want a particular Pez dispenser, too bad. They come in pre-wrapped packages, you know. You gotta buy 12 Pez dispensers to get 4 out of 6 of them because of the way it's randomized.
Okay. So, like, B-Dubs' head shop. B-Dubs heads aren't garbage. I've used B-Dubs' heads.
Oh, yeah, I think the part, he hasn't said this to me, but I think part of the reason he opened that shop is because I had, like, put on B-Dub's skin and killed myself a bunch of times so I could make a B-Dub shrine for my base, and he was, and I think he was looking at that going, where's my cut? You know? Like,
I thought I'd broken it. It turns out he was just out of stock, and and I was just like, because I left some money in there, just, you know, because I was sad because I thought I'd broken it. And he goes, I'm keeping the money. And I'm like, wait, you can't do that. It's your fault, not mine.
Okay.
It's like, yeah, no, I understand why he made the heads, but he's also paying for the heads. Fortunately, I got like a couple of ultra rares in mine because everyone had already bought all the others. If you get the last pack, you get the ultra rares, apparently.
Oh, really?
Yep.
That's a interesting randomization method, by which I mean, like, he just threw them in the hoppers at the top. I was like, yeah, they'll get in there eventually.
Well, what I think it's like, because it's like he did a lot of redstone. I don't know if you were there when we went through his redstone. To make it all randomized. So it was a case of they all need to have 5, but this one is rare. so it can't go into the. So basically, what I think he did is he stopped it going through. So all of the last 5 that were left over were quite rare. Because all the other ones had like the proper weighting, and I just got the dregs.
Rare dregs. Okay. Study, library, billiard room, hall, conservatory, ballroom, kitchen, dining room, lounge.
Oh, I caught it, Canna. Thank you very much. You tried. I got it. I got it before I saw that comment as well. Good thing about these stickers is they can be moved.
Ah, boy.
You okay, Joe?
Yeah, no, one of the rules in the chat is don't ask to ask questions. So I'm just timing somebody out for asking if they can ask questions again.
Yeah. No, I get it. All right. Bills by date. So that's what I'm writing down here. So car tax on the 1st.
Okay, so let's see here.
Well, that's not how you spell license, but screw it, it's fine.
Is that your TV license?
Yeah, I've put a dot next to it because I don't actually know if it'll be there, because I'm planning on giving up my TV license because I don't actually do anything that requires a TV license anymore.
Do you keep a television on premises?
Nope.
Well, there you go.
Well, that's not it. It's like if you watch online, if you watch live TV online as well, it counts for that as well. So I just don't do it. So what was worth it? It's one of those rules that's really obvious when someone hasn't read the rules. Yeah, that's Joe's ones, the asking to ask questions. Mine is the atting thing. Don't at me, it's my chat. It annoys me.
Well, I mean, I didn't just write that to check if people read the rules. It legitimately is a problem.
Yeah, no, I understand, but it's one of those things that also checks if they've read the rules or not.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that, like, it doesn't annoy you.
Well,
because the atting thing does annoy me as well. It's all my chat. I should be able to, like, I'm assuming most of it is at me. You also can't type in all caps. Yes, but I have a bot that deals with that. UK still has those laws of taxing buildings based on the number of windows it has. No?
If I had a bot, this is why I don't have a bot. It would ban people who asked if they could ask a question. Because when I'm sitting here and I'm like streaming and somebody does that, I'm like, I'm just going to time them out and give them a chance to read the rules. But if I'm in programming mode and I'm training a ruthless robot to moderate this chat, I'm like, this robot has no ruth. It's just going to ban them for that. It's not going to time them out. Same thing for all caps. Like I can't make a robot that's as nice as I am. I'm incapable of teaching the robot kindness.
I'm capable of teaching the robot love.
I can't teach a robot to love. No, that's my point. So it's like when people are like, why don't you just have a bot do this so it doesn't stress you out? It's like, because you guys would like the bot a lot less than you like me. And then I know that there's a rational argument that just set the bot differently, and it's like, no. Like, if
No.
it's gonna put me in a bad mood if I have to if I have at the point where I'm having to do the work of doing this, I'm not going to be in the psychological space. Like, I just don't want to deal with it. Like, at the point where this has become necessary, we're past forgiveness. Somebody says, Joe, maybe the robot can teach you to love. I doubt it.
I'm pretty sure that's just an impossibility for Joe, to be honest. At this point. Okay.
Yeah.
There's all my bills for the month down. That's depressingly a lot of bills.
It's funny because Grian has a groom bot, but does he have a bride bot?
Joe, why? In reality, it's something that's legally required if you watch live TV channels. Right, here's the thing about the TV license, and I don't know if I've gone off on this before, but like, the funniest thing about it is they're saying, we know if you're watching TV. We've got these special vans that scientifically just really actually can't work, that know what you're watching and how you're watching. And I'm like, I don't think that's true. I don't.
Well, they did with CRTs. You could easily see what was on a CRT from a distance.
Yeah.
The electron gun from a CRT is super noisy. Mm-hmm. So you could actually, that's not fake.
Well, they also can't prove it because they'd have to get into the house, and you can't do that without a warrant. So.
Well, it's pretty directional. I mean, it is what I'm like. If you've got a directional receiver, and you're, I don't know. I once again though, that's different from CRTs versus LCDs, but and LEDs. Hey, Mouse Mac, thank you for tipping 9. Who says, "Hey Joe, here's pennies for your monthly bill. Hope you can enjoy some downtime soon and maybe catch up on sleep." I'm hoping so. I got 6 hours last night. Woo. Because I mean,
that's not terrible.
No, it's not. I was setting up the new Everstorm server for my Patreon patrons. So let's see. I'm gonna rotate the camera now 9 degrees. Where's Yeah, so every month I set up a new hardcore server. So that way people always have.
In Germany, everyone has to pay for a TV license. Doesn't matter if they over TV or not. Ooh. Don't understand when they make it a license instead of a tax.
Yeah, I mean, that just is a tax at that point.
I mean, not if you don't have a TV, it's not.
Wait, what? I mean, like, if they're what I'm saying is, if everybody in the country gets a license and everybody in the country has to pay for a license.
Oh, you're talking about the Germany one.
Yeah, I'm talking about the German system.
Okay, that is, yes.
Because like,
that was a response to
because if they're like, okay, everybody pays taxes to have military defense, right? You can't opt out of the border patrol as much as some of us might want to. Like, they're just like, so you're paying for it either way,
right?
Did I do this wrong somehow? I did do this wrong. And how? Okay. So that needs to come down after 3 blocks here.
Right. So, income, things that go out to bills, then it's long-term stuff that I need to budget for. So out of curiosity, how many of you guys actually have like a physical budget that you actually do?
Okay, does physical mean it can be in computer software?
In computer form,
Because I was gonna say I don't have a physical budget, but I do keep an electronic budget.
I just want to know, it's just like how many people actually have a budget that they actually do and sit and function with every month.
Me.
No. Yes. Just gives you a vague sense of anxiety that usually steers me well. Major stuff, but not for minor stuff. That's fine.
Kirsten says I do. Quirky says spreadsheet gang.
So most people have like a loose budget, and some people it sets off their anxiety. I think actually not having a budget sets off my anxiety more. So, nope. See, that's fairly mixed. I mean, I just find that really interesting. The app from my bank gives budget advice and shows what will go with my bank account and how much I have left. You know, that's fair, Cam. Everything has an amount put aside for it. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought, because it's always kind of split when I ask that question. Try to live on €10 a day to do your groceries with, and so far it hasn't been working out well.
Yeah. I think one thing that I don't really keep a super close tab on, and that's becoming an issue, is groceries. Because I just kind of assume groceries cost what they cost. Like, I don't buy anything extravagant. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
So it's like, okay, I buy bread and cheese and meat for sandwiches and stuff for my kid for school, and certain snacks, and basically the same thing for dinners. Well, I mean, like, I've got probably like 10 or 15 different dinner things I buy kind of on a rotation, but like, I don't really aggressively like clip coupons or like, I'm gonna go to this grocery store because they've got cheaper chicken or whatever, you know. It's like,
yeah, no, I get that,
but like, I'm realizing that grocery bills are starting to be enough of an issue that I might have to start paying more attention to that. But
no, yeah,
I feel like we're already eating relatively frugally, and so, you know, I kind of can tell sometimes I'm like near the madness cliff, where I'm like,
oh yeah, no, I understand that as well.
Oh, if I really like, this is already fairly optimized, which is how we got by doing it for years while I was paying off my student loans and stuff. And so it's like, this is already fairly optimized in an intuitive way. So we're going to start getting into like the really wacky counterintuitive optimizations that are going to be like a ton of extra time and effort, where then it's like, oh, not even worth it. And so I don't know, but I need to at least start paying more attention to, I don't know. I get really, part of my problem is with my digestive problems, like, things with a lot of preservatives and stuff really mess me up. So like, I have to be careful of, it's like, oh, you could get the cheaper version of this. It's like, yeah, but the cheaper version of that uses some sort of cheaper preservatives that like make me violently ill for a day and a half. So it's like, yeah, I think I won't do that.
No, I understand that.
Like,
yeah, you can tag me on Twitter, but it's fine. Aldi in the UK, hot chocolate is 90p, Sainsbury's £3, both in their more basic brands. Yeah, like, that's the thing that I don't get. I don't get that. Like, how, like, the different supermarkets, like, the products are virtually the same. So, yeah.
Okay. So I've got the entire sketch of the layout here. Which is a good start. Probably just start actually labeling the rooms then.
Yeah. Sorry for those of you who are just waking up. We didn't mean to start in existential crisis mode of money.
Yeah, in fairness though, the craft stream is always kind of the more real
grown-up topic. Yeah.
It's like, welcome to our burdens.
Like, there are people here like all about the burdens. We like it.
But at the same time, like, I want aspiring like artists and entertainers to know like that this is part of the business, because like it's not all glam rock, Instagram, TikTok, buying Corvettes and like discovering corpses in the woods or whatever, you know. Like, some of us have jobs.
Some of us have jobs. That's the best way to put it. This is a job. This is a job.
Yeah.
Been watching Cleo so far. It's fine. Watching Joe so far. It's fine, Cleo. Yeah.
Okay.
But you did it anyway. You know what? Like, having a budget isn't a bad thing. If you save more, then... Oh, I nearly said something that was just rude.
Then you won't end up like Joe.
You just spend more money on my merchandise. It's fine. That's not true, by the way. That was a joke. So, I'll buy a £20 kettle. In 2 years, you'll have broken even. God, that bloody kettle thing. Oh, it made me so angry.
Oh, I found that coffee.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I haven't found the beef jerky yet, but I did find the coffee. So what I didn't realize was I had well, I mean, on some intellectual level, I knew that I had 2 identical shopping bags.
Mm-hmm.
But so the one that I looked through and I was like, where did the coffee go? Was not the one that had the coffee in it. Apparently the one that had the coffee in it, I had I don't know if maybe I was in a rush to stream or something, and so I had like thrown the bag in my bedroom to change into my tank top, I guess. And so yeah, there was just a shopping bag with coffee in it, like behind some stuff, like wherever I had tossed it. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Beef jerky is still missing, though. Beef jerky is still missing.
Well, that was the one that's the one we're less concerned about.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine, because...
I'm sorry, but spending money on your merch will get in the way of my roasted peanuts habit. I understand.
Man, this is one of those things. Like, I try to always have, like, a giant, like, 2-pound can of peanuts from Costco in the apartment for, like, late-night snacking. If I'm like, okay, I just need a little bit of food to hold me over, but I don't want to eat something that's going to give me indigestion before bed or whatever.
Yeah, I understand.
And yeah, I ran out like a week ago. I was like, oh, that's okay. I'll get to Costco eventually. But like now at the car missing a tire, it's like, well, I'll get that's fine. I'll get there early next week and hopefully get a new tire and a can of peanuts.
I just started adding numbers. I'm going to stop adding numbers. It's just my instinctive. It's just like, yeah, that's that. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Put those numbers there.
Time to cash in my retirement. It's like I buy all the Cleo merch. Don't buy all of it. Oh, that's cute, Cam. Merch is beyond my end. That's fine. I don't expect anyone to buy a merch. There will be stickers if anybody wants a sticker. It's cute. I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I kind of want to have, like... One of the things holding me up on merch, too, is it's like... people have enough shirts, for the most part. Like...
Yeah.
And so part of me is like, you know, I want to have, like... have you seen Dan Aykroyd's merch? He was in Ghostbusters. Oh, well, he makes...
I know who Dan Aykroyd is. I haven't seen his merch.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's like a glass skull with cork in the top and vodka inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I kind of want to do something like that, but I feel like opening a distillery is like a whole separate thing.
I think you might be beyond your ken at this point in
Right
your
now,
life.
anyway, yeah.
Guess I'm making a budget now. Thanks, Cleo, in a sarcastic but also sincere way. I mean, it helps. It helps. Like, all my budgeting is done on paper. Even the stuff for my business expenses, I do that on paper as well. My accountant was like, that's fine, but if you ever want a piece of software, we can recommend stuff to you. I'm like, does it matter? Not particularly. Okay. It's just easier. I'm fine.
Somebody pointed out that Scottish castles have a lot of interior space for distilleries.
This is true.
So there we go. Thank you, Sintfordron.
So, if you are interested in the budgeting side of what I'm currently doing, so I have bills that come out every month, which is what this thing is. This is my income, obviously. Bills that come in every month. Bills that will come out in the future that I need to save for.
Oh.
So
one thing that you did here that's very different from how I work, and this is me complimenting you on being bolder here. You see how you put like a line at the bottom of each of those panels?
Yeah.
I would have put way more space between the panels, because I would be like, oh, I'm gonna think of a bill, or I'm gonna think of a future thing, or I'm gonna think of an income stream.
But that's for next budget.
Next month.
Yeah, if I have anything left over, that gets added. I'll add it on to next month.
Okay.
So yeah, it's sort of like I know what my income streams are. I don't know how much it's going to be, how much I'm going to get from them, because YouTube is one of those jobs. But if I had like a job, I would just put job and then how much I get like on a monthly basis. I know these bills are coming out, and like only like 3 or 4 of them are things that I like. 2 of them I'm trying to get rid of, which are the ones with the dots. I probably won't be getting rid of that one anytime soon. That's probably a bill for when I finally move, because it's to do with my washing machine. But most of these are minimal, apart from obviously rent. Rent. But these things that are like, I get water on a 3 monthly basis, which just went out this month. So last month, so it's on a 0.
Really, your water bill is quarterly?
Yeah.
Oh, that's wild. Wild and wacky stuff. No, I mean here it's monthly.
Well, they come out and they have to read the meter.
Oh, and they don't want to do that.
So we don't. So they do that like every 3 months, and then sometimes they don't even bother and they estimate it. It's usually about, like, I add 30 quid in every month, so you know, and my server is 90 every 3 months, so I put aside 30 every month for that. Taxes depends on how much I make, because I take 20% of whatever I make and put it away for taxes. So car maintenance, that's I don't know. Business expenses, it's like if I'm saving for things for the business. So for example, saving for a computer is the next job of work. Just bought a separate microphone, now I need another computer. And then putting aside money for the accountant, which should, like, they said it should be about 300 quid, but
a month,
like, it could go up
quarterly
over the year.
Oh, only a year. Okay.
Oh yeah, so 300 over the year. It could be between 300 and 600, depends on how difficult my bills, my taxes are, and they shouldn't be that difficult. So, but I'm budgeting the higher end of that. So, why quid is another term for a bound? I have no idea. It just is. But then I also do things like my expenses, like my monthly expenses. So like I have like spending, groceries, petrol, and cat food are my big spends each month. which will go in a box here. And then I've got like my savings, which I think is important to put something away. Adulting is hard.
Yeah.
You know, quid is from quid pro quo, meaning exchange. Oh, thank you, Freudianity. Didn't know that.
Dang it, something like...
What are you answering, Red, there? I don't know. Let me have a look. What did JT say? See, nothing in that budget for washi tape. Now, that's in business expenses. I don't claim for the washi tape, although I'm starting to think that I should. You see, this is the things I need to ask my accountant. I use washi tape for my bullet journal, which I stream, and then people donate to me money. Should I claim for the washi tape?
Well, I think they'd probably say yes.
I think they probably would too, and that frightens me.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, Cam. Is it what you thought it was? It's a business expense, right? I feel like it's a business expense, but it feels really cheeky. Ah, well done, Cam. Then, it feels really cheeky, and I don't. I've just bought more washi tape, is what I'm saying, and I don't know whether if I should take the invoice or not. Anyway. Okay, so the next one is expensive, and then we have savings. And then I think I've worn out this tape, I think. In the US, you'd be able to get at least part. I mean, I probably would be able to claim all of it, because I wouldn't use it if I wasn't doing it on stream. Mm-hmm. You know? So, like, I think technically it's probably a business expense, because, like I say, it wouldn't be done that way. If it wouldn't be as pretty, and it wouldn't be used if this was just for me.
Oh, Mahi0 says, I have to pay for Disney Plus soon. I got the 3-year pre-order. I didn't know that Disney Plus did a 3-year pre-order, but that reminds me, I'm going to cancel my... Oh, you guys can't see this. Here it is. I don't think there's anything proprietary here. I'm about to cancel my HBO Max. I had signed up for the annual plan because I was like, it's HBO. It's always good. But they got bought by Discovery, and the new owners are just complete jerks. So unfortunately, this doesn't renew until March. But yeah, let's cancel that subscription. Confirm.
Yay, Joe, taking responsibility for your spendings.
Buy HBO Max. Because, like, yeah, I think I switched to the 1-year plan when they announced that they were making the Venture Brothers and Metalocalypse, and I'm pretty sure that those are going to be canceled by the new people.
Probably.
Because they are canceling all the other animation stuff, and...
Yeah.
Yeah. So...
Okay. So those are the 3 things that I have that are just weekly expenses, except for the cats. So that's 4 things that I generally spend out of pocket. Spending is just like, I get like usually 30 or 40 quid a week just for me. And then groceries, petrol. Cats is cat food. Cats get more than I do, because their food is much more expensive than it arguably should be, because one of my cats is massively allergic.
And then you can't feed the other one the other food because the other one will steal it.
Yeah.
So all the cats get fancy food.
All the cats get expensive food because, yeah. This is why I'm nervous if Cam ever lives with me, because Cam's got 4 other cats.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's just sort of like, I don't know if I can afford it for 4 other cats.
Well, weren't you the one that was saying moving cats from the United States to England is very challenging?
It is very challenging. Doesn't mean it won't happen.
Gotcha.
So...
Danny says, maybe don't cancel the glasses subscription. I buy these glasses outright. I don't have vision insurance or anything.
No. I mean, that, like, glasses and stuff, I mean, I probably should start putting like health stuff. So like for teeth and glasses and stuff.
That's the sort of thing I need to do too. Because like in theory, there's this argument that like what you should do is you should budget like between $15 and $60 a month for clothes.
I'll get to that, JT. Don't worry.
But yeah, even though you're not buying clothes every month, when you do buy clothes, it can be expensive. And that way,
clothes comes out of spending. I mean, I don't buy clothes anymore really because, like, all my fancy posh stuff, I gave to my sister because she changed jobs and now works with much posher clothes. When I quit my much posher job. To work at home, so now I live in leggings and t-shirts.
Yeah, well, that's the thing too. Is it's like at a certain point, like I need to go buy socks, but I'm just gonna do that one day.
Yeah.
Basically, as they get more and more holes in them, I throw them away, and then when I realize, okay, I'm down, which I'm actually like down to 3 or 4 pairs at this point. So but I do laundry like every other day anyway, so it doesn't really matter usually. But I do have a trip coming up in October that's like 10 days. So I'm going to need to buy socks before I go on that.
See, that's what I do spending wise. So if I needed like a new t-shirt, for example, that would come out of spending. However, I also went to the cinema yesterday and that came out of spending. But I will point out that I had rolled over for like 3 or 4 weeks where I hadn't spent anything on myself. So I currently have a lot of me money, which I might just like take out and put into savings. Yes, obviously. What are you saying? Are you saying I'm not a queen?
No.
If your cat appears in your stream, they're associated expenses, business expenses. No, they're not. That would be nice.
Yeah, let's see. Winter83 says you can get socks at Costco with the tires and peanuts. No, I can't. You know why? Okay, here. This is the most infuriating thing. Like I'm like, this is why I don't talk about stuff that makes me angry usually, because like if I start getting mad, I'm not fun to watch on the stream. But because the whole point of Costco is to buy things in bulk, right?
Right.
So they're like, oh. You don't want to just go in here. You can't just buy a small amount of socks. You go in there and you get like a pack of like 24 or 48 socks. And you might think, oh, that's fantastic because I will never have to match socks again.
Yeah.
But every pair in that pack has a different color stripe on it.
Oh.
And I made that mistake like 7 years ago, and I am down to the last few pairs, and I am never ever doing that again. I am buying plain socks that don't have a stupid stripe. Also, the other thing I hate about the socks at Costco is a lot of them have logos that are in a visible spot, and I hate that. They're not paying me to like showcase. Several people are typing in the Discord. Apparently, people can tell I'm upset. But I am never buying socks from Costco again. I am done. Chloe the Great and Powerful tips 3 and says 1 pair of socks. Thank you, Chloe the Great and Powerful.
You know what? I buy just black socks from the supermarket. And just do it that. I like to have fun socks as well. But I never keep my fun socks because one of them always goes missing.
I just want plain white socks. Kindle says my Costco has normal human socks.
My Costco has normal.
I mean, maybe like I said, this was years ago but the thing is, there was no way to tell from the packaging that the socks didn't match each other because of the way they were folded. And so that means I can never trust that a package full of socks there won't be folded the same way again in such a way that I can't tell. Like they have lost my trust on socks. I'm done buying socks from Costco.
I am done buying socks from Costco. You need more toe socks. I can't stand toe socks. Toe socks are weird. You got a lot of fluffy socks that look like cat paws and you lost them all. Yeah, that would be gutting. We're only allowed to wear black socks or women black or tan tights. Yeah. See, where I work, I'm allowed to wear pretty much whatever I like. Some days the temperature changes what I need to wear, but you know.
Okay, I got a few tips here I gotta acknowledge real quick, Leo.
Mm-hmm.
Leslie, tips 18. So thank you, Leslie, who says, new socks always feel amazing, Joe. Also happy that your tire didn't cause you to have an accident. Yeah, I realized something was going wrong and started already getting to the side of the road before it actually completely blew. So yeah, luckily not too bad there. So let's see. We were at 75 degrees. We are going up to 93 now, angular. And then we've got another tip rolling in from, let's find out, from Butterfly Girl KMC, who says, from new socks and maybe a tire. Woo! Thank you, Butterfly Girl KMC, for tipping an even 100. That's going to rotate us from 92 degrees to 192 degrees angular. I am just absolutely upside down with gratitude. My Discord chat is talking about toe socks. I don't know if I could wear toe socks unless they were like measured and fitted, right? Like, you know how they like measure, they used to measure and fit gloves perfectly?
No, but sure.
Oh, it used to be that they didn't sell mass manufactured gloves. You would go to like a counter and they would measure your hand, and then you'd come back in like a week and have like perfect gloves. That's where the expression fits you like a glove comes from, because it was bespoke. So if there was like a place that measured my toes and made perfect toe socks, I would probably wear them. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know that I would want to wear generic toe socks. Because, well, some people are talking about like, oh, does Joe have weird feet? No, just everybody has different length toes. Like, some people genetically have like a second toe that's longer than their big toe, and some people don't. Like, so what are they gonna do? Are they gonna make every pair of toe socks have a longer second toe? But then what about the people who don't have the longer second toe? Are they just gonna have extra sock there flopping around? Like, that doesn't.
Toe socks are just not comfortable.
I can't imagine them being comfortable.
I mean, socks do stretch. That is correct.
But like, you don't want that extra pressure on your toe stretching the sock.
Possibly? I don't know. I haven't checked what I've done for any of these totals. Do have wheelie shaped feet, so toe socks sound unpleasant. I've put toe socks on and I can't get beyond the feeling of fabric between my toes. It's not normal and I don't like it. Well, you wore prescription socks, JT.
If you have diabetes, then yeah, there's like pressure socks. I've heard that they're called compression socks. I've heard those are also really good for avoiding, because they're designed to stop you from getting blood clots.
And deep vein thrombosis, yeah.
So they're good for wearing on long haul flights.
Yep.
When a bunch of my friends went to Japan, they all got them because it was like a stupid long flight.
Yeah, no, that's when I went to America. I got them as well, just in case, you know. It's better to be safe than have deep vein thrombosis.
And how?
I think you could get used to the feeling of fabric between your toes. It's like the people who wear toe shoes. I don't get those either. It's like, okay.
I've worn toe shoes. They're good for like walking through creeks and stuff where you want like the additional grip on like slippery rocks. But like,
yeah, but you need cushioning at some point in your lives.
Well, I mean, there's like, if you think about how water is denser than air, like, I mean, you're not like slapping the rocks super hard with
Oh,
your feet.
I know, but there are people that use them for running.
I wouldn't wear them running. I definitely almost every time I wore them, it was because I was doing something with like small watercraft where I was going to be moving through creeks or like shallow rivers, and they're perfect for that. Like you have way better grip on the slippery rocks because you can dig your toes in.
Yeah. I will point out that is how much food for my cats can cost. Not always cost, but can cost every month. So I always make sure.
$120 a month. No, sorry.
£120.
£120. Ah, that's more.
That's worse.
That's worse.
And that's because one of my cats is allergic to everything.
This is one of the other reasons that I'm scared to get pets, because like I feel like we're just like we're getting by as it is, but having a bunch of other surprise unknown costs from vet bills or like surprise allergies and extra special food, like
Fortunately, I have Pet Plan, which is insurance. So if it gets really bad, then like if I have like massive vet bills, I should actually start putting vet bill. I mean, did I not put? Oh no, I've got emergency savings down here, which is also partly to do with the cats. So, yeah. So I'm very aware that cats are expensive, pets are expensive.
Yeah.
Vet bill line item. The Pet Plan is cat insurance. I've got cat insurance for both my pets. So if it's really bad, I've got help. I had a friend that told me that I was stupid for getting cat insurance. Just put the money away until my cat had kidney failure.
Uh-oh.
And then it was just sort of like, that's a very expensive pet bill. It was a choice between that pet bill or my cat, and I didn't have to worry because I had pet insurance.
Yeah.
So need to set that up. Yeah, I think it's, for the most part, most people don't ever have to worry about it. But if your pet gets sick, there is a chance it can get sick. And Pet Plan paid out immediately. So that's not how you spell savings. Pet Plan played out like the second they got the thing, so I wasn't underwater at any point. So yeah, I recommend them if you get them. Shut up, Pushed. I caught it before you said anything.
Okay, I'm looking at.
Oh, Pet Plan isn't for things like, I mean, dental work. It would help me pay for the dental work, but it doesn't pay for vaccines because those are just like cost of living things. So Pet Plan is purely oh no, lost a cat because I couldn't afford a surgery. Wish I had insurance then. Yeah. I had a pet that lost a leg, so that was quite expensive. And I didn't have pet insurance then, and I thought, I need to get some pet insurance.
Mm-hmm.
She was fine. She lived another 5 years. It's about then I actually started doing budgets. Now that I think about it. I used to have Pet Plan for Sapphire because you don't want uncovered vet bills for a horse. No, I can't imagine you do. Have a thing with our local vets, and it's something like £12 a month to get a free checkup. Yeah, I used to have that until my vet closed during the pandemic. Which was weird because they'd been going for like 50 years. Like, I can't. It just blew my mind when they closed. But now I'm going to a cat specialist place down the road, so that's handy. Particularly with my two, who are just stress balls. Homicidal Hippie, resubscribe for 13 months. Thank you very much.
Cat specialist.
Sorry, cat specialist, yeah. Well,
that feels like I'm like sitting here and I'm like, there's got to be a funnier word for cat specialist, like meowsicologist or something, but like I just can't get there.
Probably, yeah. But they have like special certifications for different animals, and so. But they're much more gentle with my two than the other place was, so kind of happy I made the switch. Pharmaceuticals. What start, add, end? Okay, so starting is the money that I start with in that account. Adding is the things that I'm adding this month and what I end up with, because sometimes, like, for example, here, my water bill comes out every 3 months. Last month I had 90 quid in there, but now I'm starting with 0, but I'm adding another 30 quid in and I'm going to end with 30 quid. So if I'd still had the 90 in there and I added 30 quid to it, I'd have ended with 120. If that makes sense. Ideally, I should have a spent column in here.
Mm-hmm.
But, next time I'll realise that, I think.
Yeah. Interesting.
I usually just keep that in my head.
Mm-hmm. Well, because, like, for me, since I use a rolling spreadsheet, once the money is spent, I just replace it with whatever the next thing is, right? So once I've spent the August electric, I replace it with September electric and then say, okay, I need to allocate X amount for that.
Whereas I just have, like, electric.
And you do
I do it, like, I do it in a month, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, my energy bills are coming out every month now. I used to pay them quarterly, but I can't. I could budget them and I could add them into the future stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I just can't at the moment. I just can't. It's like they have to come out every month, otherwise they would bankrupt me.
Yeah.
And bills, day is in the day the bill comes out. Yeah. So and then what the actual money was that went out. Because I know approximately what most of these are going to be, but I need to know the actual figure. I should have totals and stuff in here, which I don't. But it's me trying to make my budget pretty. Normally, I would just be doing this and then I'd add everything up and put things at the bottom. So it's a learning curve. Is it more expensive to pay quarterly? No, it's just a case of I can't, unless I'm saving for it, I can't pay quarterly because I haven't been saving for it. It's not in my brain to do it like that. Because it used to be kind of an incidental. I used to pay for my energy bills out of whatever was left over with my spending money. Can't do that anymore. I'm so glad my bills are paid. My bills are paid automatically, but I need to know how much is going out so I know that I've got enough to cover it. I mean, this is just what's on my outgoing app, really. But having it all in one place and categorized helps me visualize it. I mean, I've got my rent in there, but this is still a hefty chunk of money even without rent. With the current prices, no one will be able to pay energy bill this week. Well, they've capped it at to 2,500, which is still ridiculous. So, yeah. I'm not saying that. I nearly went off on a rant today.
Uh-oh.
Like, I did go off on a rant today on Twitter.
Oh.
But not as big as the one that I nearly went off on.
Well, let me go pull up twitter.com/ZombieCleo. People are asking if I'm muted. I'm currently reading about the Call of Cthulhu mythos because for this clue game that I'm working on. But okay. Dun, 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 dun. So you're mad about the sound at the horror movie?
No, I made a comment that this morning.
No,
that was yesterday.
I was kidding.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just get angry sometimes.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
Particularly about this.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is where my savings things, like JT said, what, no holiday fund? I am saving for a holiday.
So people are asking, can we have a build contest to build the Call of Cthulhu map in Minecraft? The thing about, I don't want to run the game in Minecraft. I want to run it on a table with a board like this. So that way I can use props like this ancient beast here. Is like something bursts through the wall, the entire eastern wall of the building as you huddled behind the stairwell. Like, there's certain things you can't do in Minecraft.
No.
That I want to. I think I want to run it with an actual clue board. Part of the reason that I was doing this here, because I'm on the fence about buying a clue board or buying a big piece of wood and drawing my own clue board on it.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe not even a piece of wood. Like I'm looking around I've got enough random stuff in this room that I could draw a clue board on. But I want it to be more of a also then at that point it's something I could bring to conventions and run at a table.
Yeah.
For folks. Rex says Photoshop it and print it out at Kinko's. Well, I was thinking more about having something like laser etched on like hinged piece of wood or something. Like really like I don't know. I'm trying to for the prototyping process, I should probably just go to the store and buy a $20 clue game because we don't have a copy in the house right now.
Mm-hmm.
So Severold says, so taxing though to have to make the grids by hand and whatnot. I literally threw together a model of a clue board in less than an hour. Like, that was part of the reason I was doing this, was I was trying to figure out, okay, how long does it take me to get a rough basic one done? Obviously making a bigger, fancier one would take more time, but I wanted to get a sense of the general. NJ says, wait, you don't have a copy of Clue? No, I don't. Because I've changed apartments like so many times in so many years that like anything like that where it's like, oh, I'm sure I know somebody with it I could borrow, I wouldn't bother owning. But since I'm going to be running like 6 games at this point, I should get a Clue, man. What if you just go to the old yards to state thrift shop? Yeah, that's the other thing, is I could probably get a used copy at well, I can't go shopping really anywhere that would have a copy of Clue right now until I get my car fixed. Well, I guess I can take the bus or get a lift, but the cost savings of going out of town to buy used board games, getting a lift to go all the way out of town to the used board game place, probably not worth it.
Yeah. Thank you, Grand Book, for the 7-month resub. It's appreciated.
NJ, it would cost you more to ship me your used copy of Clue than it would cost me to get, because like they're gonna have like a $12 version at Target that's super cheap. If I'm just using it for prototyping purposes, I'll just go get the like super cheap mode $12 one in the short term. Although I'm looking at this, I could what I'm kind of thinking about doing is getting a sheet of Lexan.
I don't know what that is.
Lexan. It's like a strong plastic. It's like transparent.
Oh yeah, like I've forgotten what they call it here. I know what you mean.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, I could get a sheet of Lexan and then draw this on it with draw the grid and everything on it with a marker. But then I could
Perspex, yes.
Then I could put like lights or different illustrations or whatever underneath. I think that's probably the best way to do it. NJ, don't mail me a copy. Don't mail me your copy of Clue. There's no way that is a good use of the postal service right now. Yeah, and I could get Lexan locally, so
yeah,
and they'll cut it for me and everything. So anyway, Clue Emily tips 20 and says for the Clue fund. Do. So we're gonna go ahead and rotate me another 20 degrees. Yeah. So if I did, let's figure this out. So that's gonna bring me up to 223, I think. Here. Okay, so if I did want to get a Lexan Clue board that's the size of this table, basically, how big is this table? It's 12 inches to there, and then another. Okay, so this is an 8. So if I got an 18 by 18 sheet of Lexan, and then yeah, I could basically draw out the grid on top of the Lexan, and then I'd get some legs or something to put it on top of so I could slide stuff underneath it. That would look pretty cool. Part of me wants to do it in so I'm realizing I could also do it in 3 6 by 18 well, maybe not, because I was gonna say that there's not exactly like there is a clear break on these but not on that side. Yeah, there is. That's a clear enough break. So that way, for travel, I don't have this huge 18 by 18 square I gotta carry. Because I could stack 3 18-inch by... okay.
Yeah, that would make sense, yeah.
Yeah, so 18 inches is like 45 centimeters for those of y'all in Europe. So 45 centimeters by 15 centimeter, like 3 slats, basically. And then I'd have like some sort of stilts or legs I could put them on top of, and then I could put stuff underneath and move stuff around on top. Yeah. Because, like, then, for example, if I was like, uh-oh, this room is on fire now, I could put, like, tea lights and stuff under that room. It's like the fire's spreading to the kitchen. Put more tea lights under the kitchen.
Oh, like, dear.
This is clearly better than just getting an old version of Clue in the mail.
Arguably, yeah. I would agree.
Let's see. The last time I worked with Lexan was in high school. But that means it was cheap enough that I was able to buy, like, a huge sheet of it as a high schooler when I had no job. So, let's see how much Lexan sheets cost these days. Hopefully it's not one of those things that's like stupid expensive. Oh no, this is fine. Yeah.
And now, since you're talking about doing it on stream, business expense.
Yeah. Well, I mean...
Just how it works.
Yeah.
I was listening to someone the other day, and they were just and I can't remember what it was they were looking at, but they were looking at something completely ridiculous and going, is there any way I could put this on the business expense account? And they were just looking at it and just going, probably. I can probably get that on the business expense account. And I was like, that just feels cheeky.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like,
yeah, when you're gaming it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this is relatively affordable. Okay.
Sometimes I'm too honest for my own good is my problem.
Oh boy.
Is your accountant familiar with content creator income from anyone other than you? My accountant used to work for TikTok as their accountant. So no. They're not really they understand, like when they said that to me and they're like, oh, he goes, oh, I understand it, I used to work for TikTok, and I'm just like, that is really not the same thing at all. And I just went so yeah, do not try to cheese the tax system, you'll just annoy the people who go back and change it. Yeah, I don't feel like doing anything that might get me in prison.
Yeah.
For anything, you know.
Like, I don't know if you noticed, but the federal government has nukes, and I don't need that kind of heat.
I'm too pretty to go to prison. That's all I can say. I wouldn't last. Particularly not when I can do savings challenges online and people will help me. I'm really annoyed because I could have started it like a centimeter over and got the whole word on, and it's not working, and I hate the fact that I need to rub this out and do this again.
Well, just no, here's what you do, is just under the N go diagonally down and have the G, and then beneath that have the E.
No.
Yeah, just have it curved.
No.
Cleo, you can do it.
I can. I'm not going to though.
Oh no. I'm like, stretch it out. I'm sorry.
It's okay, Joe. We're used to you by now.
So we can't run too late today because we do that recording thing later.
Yeah, that's true. That's going to be fun.
I'm looking
forward to that one.
Yeah.
I need to record.
Yeah, I need to record before
the prelude part.
Exactly. Is that something that would be interesting to record together and maybe mention the melon farm or whatever?
I've already done a clip about the melon farm.
You've already done your whole melon farm bit. Okay.
Yeah, I also made another one in my base as well.
Oh. Well,
like a bigger one, because I was just I timed it and it was just like, I'm not going to get enough for what I need, so I need to make a bigger one.
Well,
so that one still exists.
Keeping my ovens loaded because I went over there and moved some stuff around. And it was like, yeah, this is good.
I did go there for like 6 hours.
Oh, I could tell it was fantastic, and I appreciate it.
I did spend some time over there, and then I was just like, no, I need to make a bigger one.
Yeah, let's see. People are talking about how much it would cost to print the clue board on canvas. No. With the acrylic or with the Lexan, with the plastic, I would hand draw the board. I'm not going to pay them. Like, a lot of companies wouldn't even want to print something that was like possibly copyright or trademarked, like a board design. If it looked too much like Clue, they might refuse to do it anyway. I was gonna hand grid it.
Yeah.
So,
which is what I would do as well, Joe, if I were in your situation.
Yeah, people are saying printing it on paper is way cheaper than plastic. Well, that's okay because I'm not printing it regardless.
I'm also doing like D&D campaign stuff.
Yeah.
I've got a session 0 on Saturday, and I'm just like, so yeah, I'm D&Ding as well.
Yeah.
DMing specifically.
So let's see. Kindle says, I thought you'd put the Lexian on top of the paper design. No. The plan was to put the Lexian, like, have space underneath the board to, like, add things. So if I was like, the floor starts to ripple and break below you, and you see this tar bubbling up or whatever, I could, like, put, like, something underneath the board, like here, like a small tray of brownie mix or something. Right. So it would be to add detail beneath where the things were, right? But not like yeah.
I can imagine you'd be a fun DM. I like to think that I'm pretty good in general. So yeah, I think I'm all right. I also I let my players go off piste a little bit too much, maybe, but it's fine. I used to be a teacher. I'm very good at just like winging it in general. So I'm not great at fights, to be honest. I'm more into the roleplay side of the roleplay. So yeah, the fights are where I let myself down, I feel. The fact that I've got one of my players currently in the chat as well doesn't help at this point.
Yeah, because you don't want to be like, I've got this big thing coming up where I'm gonna be doing this or that.
Well, I'm starting up a new thing, and I've made it that I want the characters to be more meaningful in the setting, because normally we just go, I'm just going to make this character, it's going to be fun. And now I want for this campaign, I want the characters to be part of the setting. So like I want them to feel like real people, and they have family, they have friends, they have people they like and people they don't like, kind of. I want them to have a spirit of adventure that is based on the character, rather than like, my character just likes to go and do places. So yeah, I'm good at that side of things. Like I say, the fighting, whew, that lets me down. But I recognize I need to work on that. So I'm trying. Unfortunately, all my friends that do D&D that I can ask about this are in my bloody campaign.
Yeah.
So it's fine. I love it when DM integrate the piece into. I'm trying. My group is an acquired taste. They are very special people. But we've been together for what, 6 years now? So it's very rare in D&D where you get a group that lasts that long together.
Oh yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah, Pushed, I see you there.
Okay, I'm trying to think of the name. I'm trying to think of who are the other people in the Clue film that would be the NPCs in this. You've got the telegram girl, you've got the maid, you've got the cook, you've got the butler, you've got... There's the guy whose car breaks down. Car breakdown guy, and then you've got the Bible salesman. Yeah.
D&D groups, you'll get. My D&D group meet every Saturday and have for like the last 6 years. So we are like not every week, but more weeks than we don't. So yeah, which is nice. what do you think would be a good opponent for Party of X with level Y? They're starting at level 1 because I've got a whole point for my setting, which is basically just explaining why some people are just superheroes. So,
Not me. I can't do this all on my own. No, I know I'm no Superman.
and yet, Joe, and yet.
Okay, so there is a cop who's distinct from the motorist.
Yeah. That's fun but difficult to play with a different set of people every. I go to a D&D club. I didn't like what we used to do. Instead of just doing one shots, we used to do 6 week campaigns and then split that up with one shots. And there was a long running campaign that wouldn't, like, they would do the long running campaign, one shots, something else, one shots, long running campaign. So it kept on coming back to the campaign, but also people didn't get bored with it. So I never got into that campaign because I was one of the latecomers, but another one was about to start up by the time I left. So that's a shame. But a 6 week campaign is nice because it gives you just enough time to not get frustrated with your characters, but also enjoy them for what they are.
Yeah. One thing that is interesting about Ravenloft being turned into an entire campaign setting. Like, I don't know if you've seen Curse of Strahd.
I have experienced Curse of Strahd.
Yeah, so it's kind of like...
It's not my favorite.
No, well, the part of the problem though too is like your goal is supposed to be for the characters are trying to escape and get home. But, like, if you start your characters, if you roll a new party, because that game is supposed to start at, like, level 2, basically, right?
Yeah. You can't do anything with a level 2 party.
Or level 3, maybe. But, like, the idea is, though, that if the players are... if you're starting the campaign in Barovia, the players have only played in Barovia. Like, there's no, like, oh, I can't wait to get home to... where we've got our cool fortress or our base that we've been building for a year and a half or whatever. Like,
yeah.
Like, the game is too low level for the characters to have any history as players. But,
yeah.
I don't know.
But also is too obnoxious of a start campaign, I feel.
Yeah.
It's a struggle one.
Yeah.
You've been doing one shots continuing for about 3 months. Yes, you've done a adequate thing as... I was going to call it interim GM, but no, that like 3 months is just the GM at that point.
Yeah.
No, yeah, Push has been our GM for a while, and it was just like Push like, I want to play now, so I'm kind of stepping up to the mark. Which is fine.
The Zverald says, that's why I made my character be a native Barovian, so his goal is to free his homeland. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that works. Had a session 0 on Monday. Session 0s are interesting because when I'm like, my session 0 isn't going to be doing like much of any role play. It's going to be getting the people set in the world that they live in.
What level are you starting the characters at?
They're starting at level 1 because things happen in my world to make them into like heroes. So because not everyone can go from level 1 to be a superhero. Finding one shots for 8th level characters is difficult. Yeah, no, Pushed, I understand. I will point out, you didn't have to level us up. You could have just let us be at that level for some time. And we, since it was all one shots. I say it's one shots. Like, Push is like, I'm doing one shots. Push is actually doing a campaign. Well, use the same characters each time, and they're developing and they're getting backstories. And it's just sort of like, but Push is going, and now you're going here because you're a good, decent group of adventurers who would be interested in doing this thing. which is a campaign.
Yeah.
But Push is going, no, it's just one-shots. I'm like, it's not.
Out of curiosity, though, like, if you've got, like, a group of level 8 characters, can't you just take a level 6 one-shot and maybe swap out some of the enemies? I mean, I understand that, like, okay, at level 16, a level 6 one-shot doesn't work because it's like, well, the wizard just has a spell that lets you bypass this entire thing. Or, you know, the druid or whatever could just do this and magically regrow the entire forest. But, like, level 6 versus level 8, it seems like you could make it work.
Probably?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, Toxic Litter says, what is it you supposedly can't do in Minecraft? I was going to say run this Call of Cthulhu board game without a computer at a convention. I want to be able to run it on a table without computers or internet access.
Auntie Kem has resubscribed for 9 months. Good morning from Oregon. Good morning from the UK. No, hang on. Good afternoon. It's not yet evening. But it's close. What time does evening start for you, do you think?
Around here, 5-ish.
Yeah, I was just checking that it's like it's a universal thing. Because 5-ish seems nice.
Yeah, like 4:30 is definitely still afternoon.
Yeah.
I mean, in some ways, I would say like the transition is kind of probably closer to 5:30 is what would be considered evening. Like if at 5 o'clock, you might still say good afternoon, but by 5:30, it's definitely evening.
Okay.
That's kind of a gut thing.
Why Wildman has subscribed. Welcome to the Horde. If you look to your left and to your right, you'll see there are no exits. Because we painted some over them. And put stuff in front of them. What I'm saying is you can't move. It's illegal. You'd argue that evening is 6. I think you're pushing it. I think 5:30 is like max when it's not evening. When does evening start? And it says 6 to 9 p.m, which just seems like they aren't really trying. I agree with you. That just seems like a cop-out. Psychic Legume has resubscribed for 6 months, and we've got a hype train. Choo-choo! Thank you, guys. It's appreciated. I need one of those.
Yeah, I'll get them at any toy store.
I don't think toy stores really exist anymore.
What? Where do you get toys?
Me personally,
yeah,
I don't. But parents, internet usually. And the only toy store that I know that still functions as a toy store is probably Hamleys in London. I'm talking about in the UK, Canada, Russia. There's not that many like specific toy stores. I expect you to get your toys at the pet store. You are not wrong. You are not wrong. Caps Lock has resubscribed for 13 months. JT, cheered biddies. You just found them, so here. Thank you very much, JT. It's appreciated. Hamleys is the only... yeah, it's the only chain store I can think of that I know. Toy Master in the UK. Never heard of that. Tots R Us is not a thing. Neither is Toys R Us. Yeah,
I'm looking at... Sorry, I'm not doing a lot of active crafts right now, y'all. I'm looking up Call of Cthulhu stuff to see what I might actually need to start throwing these one-shots together.
Toys R Us is coming back as a brand in the US as a sub-store of Macy's. Interesting.
So the Colts...
All I can think of is the Toys R Us jingle from my childhood at this point. And I'm loath to sing it out loud. Did you have a Toys R Us in America, Joe?
Oh, yeah.
Did you have the weird 80s
we had
jingle?
that same jingle. That's like...
Okay. It's a magical place.
I want to be a Toys R Us kid. A Toys R Us kid. A Toys R Us kid. I want to be a Toys R Us kid. That one?
We never had that one. No. But yours sounds much more terrifying than mine. So... particularly when said with that level of enthusiasm.
I was trying to do my best Daria voice. People are saying, what am I working on? I am working on a Clue game variant, kind of.
Do I have Smith's Toys in the UK? Probably. The Entertainer went bankrupt, from what I understood. At least ours shut down.
Okay, so there's an entire book called Cults of Cthulhu from the Call of Cthulhu publisher that includes 5 pre-built cults and guidance for generating your own cults.
Oh, joy.
Yeah.
Cults are good.
Yeah.
In Call of Cthulhu, guys, I'm not promoting cults.
Yeah, don't join cults in real life.
Even the ones that pretend they're not cults, don't join those either.
Yeah.
If it looks like a cult and acts like a cult, chances are it's a cult. Happy Couch Day, resubscribe for 10 months. Thank you very much. I thought this was a cult. No, we are a conglomeration of like-minded individuals.
This is the cult. Okay.
Look, if it was a cult, I'd be asking for all of your money, not just what you can afford.
Well, you know, Cleo, without strong leaders that press them, they won't know what they can truly afford.
It's dark, Joe. It's dark.
Your lack of conviction is no excuse for a lack of leadership. You need to inspire the people.
I try. I inspire them to be better people.
Through difficulty. They need to experience financial difficulty while supporting you in order to truly grow.
It's a bit too dark for me, actually, Joe. I think we've hit my limit. Oh my god.
Yeah, sorry. I'm like reading all this Call of Cthulhu stuff as we're going through here, and I'm like,
yeah, no, I understand where it's coming from, but thank you for the biddies, Tayanzu. Yes, you're all individuals collectively.
Yeah,
you're all individuals.
Tips are welcome via paypal.me/showhills and YouTube Super Chat. Let's see. Kirsten asks, Joe, are you going to live stream early this Friday? Yeah, I'm trying to live stream every Friday morning now. Last Friday was a holiday weekend, so I was at the airport with my kid. So Rex says the lights in my office building blinked as you said that. You might want to dial it back a bit, Joe. Well, apparently NJ's office entirely lost power. They sent everybody home to work from home. And I know Rex is in the geographically similar area. So those lights might be going out, Rex. And I will claim credit. Yeah.
I was just thinking, what's a really common occurrence that I could take credit for?
Lightning.
That's not common enough. Rain. Rain is
Well,
entirely my doing.
We have lightning like every day.
No?
Oh.
Lightning, like we're going to get lightning storms in the next, few days. But no, lightning isn't a typical thing.
Oh, okay.
It happens, a couple of times a year, usually. I sent a thunderstorm yesterday. Yes, because you needed to be punished. You know what you did. And the sooner you admit it to the supervisors in charge of you, the better it will be for you. Don't you want to repent? Rain, there's a bit of a drought going on now. Maybe you could help. Look.
Repent? I ain't even pented the first time.
Look, if I use my power for everybody, then no one would appreciate it when it came. I do this out of caring for you. Oh yeah, we had a thunderstorm the other day. And by thunderstorm, I mean there was a lot of lightning.
How much lightning was there?
5.
5 lightning? Goodness.
5 whole lightnings. And maybe half a lightning as well.
Golly geo, Miss Cleo.
Okay, so we're doing this.
I don't know what we're doing anymore.
No,
I'm trying to navigate. This website is so terrible. It's actually I'm taking sanity damage trying to figure out, okay, I figured out where to order PDFs, but I'm like, okay, if I wanted the actual physical book for this, how do I buy the book? And I'm pretty sure the PDF is the PDF of a physical book. I just can't find the book on the website. That's driving me crazy. Why? Why is there not a... This is a website for selling books. Why can't I just buy a book?
Please let Joe buy a book. It might help with his sanity costs.
Okay, I found it. It took a while. This is not a very well laid out website.
No, Joe.
Let me see if I can just order this through my local bookstore. Because I know that they don't have it in stock, but they can order most things.
We had a tornado warning again. Jessie K has resubscribed for 13 months, a whole year, and also a whole 5.5 lightnings. Yeah, a whole 5.5.
Availability back ordered. Well, that's not great. It just came out in June and it's back ordered. Maybe I am.
Yeah, people who wanted it.
Yeah, maybe I am getting the PDF.
Sounds like it.
It's fine. I'm just trying to spend less time in front of screens.
No, I get that.
I uninstalled Discord on my phone and my tablet, so that way I'm less tempted to, tab out if I'm trying to read a book or something. Because it's the goal is to, sit and read, not to multitask. I need to have actual time off.
You would think so.
Yeah.
You would hope so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Right, there are 16 weeks to the end of the year. So this is the 1,000 challenge. This is the £1,000 challenge.
There's 16 weeks until the end of the year.
There is.
I
That's not until Christmas. That's to the end of the year.
Well, I'm done for Christmas, at least for my
Okay.
daughter. No, that camp, that's Christmas and birthday, and honestly, more than I would have budgeted for both together, probably. So
Probably, yeah.
yeah, like I told her, like, if you go to this is your big present for both. You might get some clothes or something, but like, I'm not gonna go out and buy you a bunch of Legos or whatever. I'm probably still gonna get her. Well, I'm gonna get the double box set of the Pokemon game, because Costco sells. You can actually get it like $10 off if you buy the double set, and I'm buying that for myself anyway. So she could have the other one, so I can trade with her. That's a present for me, more than her. But
so I've got these little umbrellas, and each time I save, like every week, I'm going to save an amount. So I've actually figured out the amounts beforehand. It goes up to 100 quid, which I can do. So not comfortably, but I can do.
Are the umbrella handles thermometers, where like if you save as you save 15 quid, it goes up 15% up the umbrella?
No, each umbrella is going to have a value. So this umbrella might be 100, this one might be 10. So each week I can choose which one I'm going to colour in and save. But by the end of the year, all of them will be coloured, and I will have saved 1,000 quid. So £1,000 in save. Yeah, £1,000 for my emergency fund. So that's the plan, at least. So I'm gonna save £1,000 so I can have like emergency money and not cry.
Yeah.
And each of these little umbrellas, because I'm saving for a rainy day, is going to be worth an amount.
Oh, that's the joke. Rainy day.
Down payment fund is here. I add to that every month.
Yeah, I wiped out my down payment fund trying to get through that hiatus.
Yeah, I know.
And like, I have not been able to rebuild it at a significant rate.
Yeah, but I depleted my emergency fund a little bit.
Yeah.
So now I need to. This is the work to do what I need. So this is every month I pick an umbrella and I do what it says on the tin, because most months I can afford up to like 100 quid. Some months I can't, and that's okay, because at least if I'm chipping away at it, it's more than the nothing that I'm currently putting in. And this way, at least I'm focusing on doing it.
Yeah, I'm at the point where it's like, I'm taking a lot of extra money and set it aside toward this October trip, because if I don't get out of the house for a little while,
oh yeah, fair,
I'm gonna go insane. Like I'm just I'm really, like I said, I'm like really close to it's not as bad now as it was like a month ago.
Yeah,
I've been like actively trying to step away and take time for myself, but like I was so close to just saying I'm emptying my retirement fund and going full mumbo jumbo. I'm just gonna disappear for 3 months, just do nothing public or something, or like only make videos but not stream and not have any contact with anyone other than collaborating on the videos. Like,
I would understand.
But yeah, I'm hoping that this trip helps restore my sense of perspective to some degree, because part of it too is that, like, I don't know, like when you quit your day job, like I don't know if you set goals for yourself in YouTube and stuff, because a lot of people do that, but for me, I said, like, this isn't me quitting at the most optimal time. This is me making an emergency measure so that I can help my kid with school, right? during the pandemic when she's doing school from home. And so like my whole goal with this job was survival,
Yeah.
and I need,
Thank you, Charles.
and people are like, well, how long is that going to be your goal? And I'm like, I don't know until it makes sense to do something else. And I feel like we're at the point where I need to move past just like I'm doing this to survive.
Yeah. For me,
I need to transition there.
I left not when it was optimal to do. I left because my mum was sick.
Yeah.
And I needed to spend time with her. Unfortunately, she died a week after I left. So, but the whole point for me was I need to not be teaching anymore.
Yeah.
And because this was the only thing I was physically doing. I didn't really have any goals. I just did it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Skulls, for the packs. I appreciate that, for the £1,000 challenge. I haven't put the numbers on yet, but thank you. I will put it towards the challenge. Do I miss teaching? Sometimes, but not as much as you would think. So, yeah. Okay, so I've got a list of numbers that add up to 1,000. There's 16 of them, so I'm going to put here. So each time I hit a number, and today I decided I was going to put 70 into this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go to the bank and get 70 and put them in the pocket at the back. So it's like a physical thing that I can then put into the thing, like, because it's tangible if I do it that way, and I'm not,
I've been thinking I need to like set up like a secondary savings account or something toward like long-term savings, because it ends up being just like, nope, I got to the end of the quarter and I owe more on my taxes than I thought, and so it's coming out of like I just need to see, I don't know.
62.50 feels like so much to me. It's a lot. I agree, it's a lot. But I am in a position where I can usually do that at the end of a month, because I have, if you look here, I have a leeway part of the budget, and that's usually between 150 quid.
So like for me, like I feel like at this point the best thing that I could do to increase my savings is actually just to increase my revenue by doing more streams. But I need to do that without getting behind on editing. And so that's where I'm gonna, like, a lot of the hermits have been talking about trying to get back into doing more quicker turnaround, shorter videos, so that way we can keep stuff moving on the server. Because if it takes a week for Pearl does something and then I respond to it a week later and then she responds to that a week later, it like the pacing for stuff gets way too slow. To roll back a little bit to the me taking time off thing, though, Rex just pointed out getting out of survival mode requires a reset, and trying to do it in the same place where you were stressed out is nearly impossible. Yeah, that's a big part of it. And also, I'm going to be driving up through New England and looking at some of the places that we could possibly move to be closer to my kid's mom. And kind of getting a sense of like, what would it be like to live up here, and is this a reasonable goal, or is this a terrible plan? Like, obviously, just driving through places, you're not going to get that much of a sense of it, but it's better than going completely sight unseen or having no experience or no plan. And honestly, I'm really starting to think that the answer, now that she's made it through that first unaccompanied minor flight, maybe the answer is just find a place in Nashville that I can afford and make it work. Because if I can get her into a school that's like a magnet school and isn't tied down to our location, then I can move to a cheaper part of town. And
yeah, that would work. I might try to do £1,000 challenge for myself. I mean, if you think you need it, definitely. But it's always nice to just like, you might be saving up for something specific, like Christmas would be one to do. It doesn't have to be £1,000. It could be £100. It could be 50. it's just whatever you are capable of doing. And I think it's important to do whatever you're capable of so you have a way of... Right. So I'm going to go to the bank. I'm going to get 70 quid. I'm going to bring it here. It's going to go in here.
Nice.
This doesn't go out of my house. So, yeah. Hermits don't go on vacation is the problem. Not really.
Well, Tango went on a cruise.
Yeah, but...
Like, that's... As much as I don't like the idea of going on a cruise, I really do like the idea of being unavailable for a week.
Yeah. It's like, it's not that we don't take vacations, is that the amount of work that goes into before a vacation is ridiculous.
Yeah, like a lot of us will do a ton of extra episodes in advance, and then we're completely burned out before we go on the vacation, and then we come home and we're like, I could have just not gone, because like it evened out, right? So that's one of the weird things about this. And like, I mean, I'm gonna be streaming while I'm on the road too, because I literally, like, there was no way for me to budget a 10 days of travel without working. So, you know, we're going to get to the hotel room at night and I'm going to be like, okay, daughter, you sit and read quietly. I'm going to do a show. Have fun. But Ako Inu says, yeah, you can vacation cheap, but loss of revenue is often much larger. Yeah, that's the thing, is like, I can't make rent on my home, no matter, even though we're staying in a lot of places in the off season. Like, we're going to the Boston coast, or not Boston, the Massachusetts coastline in October. So it's like, okay, we got a view of the ocean super cheap because it's the off season there, you know, but like, you know, I can't just not work. Like, I don't make enough on the days I do work to take that many days off in a row. So,
yeah. So, thank you, Skulls, for the 10 gift packs, and thank you, Fiendish Glitch, for the resub. The sub. Welcome to the Horde. If you look to your left and right, you'll see there are no exits. JT says only 960. Well, if I'm £40 short, I'll put an extra 40 quid in the last week. It's fine. Because I've got this little £10 here for the last week, actually. That's why I put £10 in. Proud to join the Horde. Seems like a mistake, but yeah. Okay, so that's that done. Budget is done. I just need to put in the numbers, but I'm not going to do that on stream because that's weird. Are you ready to be finished?
Yeah, I think so. Because we got to start getting ready for that other thing anyway. So
yeah, we got like...
We got a little time, but like I said, I need to record my preamble bit and stuff like that. So
same. Okay, so we are gonna head ourselves off.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, everybody. Cleo and I usually say goodbye to each other and then say goodbye to our chats individually. So catch you later, Cleo.
Bye.
Okay, so chat, we are gonna head on over somewhere else. Let me figure out where that's going to be. First off, we're going to turn off the Cleo window, because she's probably going to raid somebody. Let's see, who do we want to raid? Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. It looks like our friend Music Man is doing some hardcore Minecraft as a pair. So why don't we go ahead and raid Music Man. When you get over there, say howdy, y'all. Joe Hills right here. Anyway, until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Oh, hey, Lost Cult Music, thank you for tipping 3. I will rotate the camera real quickly before we go to 195 degrees. Awesome. And keep adventuring. Do 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 do. Wait, I gotta click.